But you know who's ready? White House counsel. Reportedly got a heads up. Where's that in the regs? And when is this being released? Right before the holy days. Jews and Christians are going to be distracted right when spring break starts for so many in this country. It is all as ugly as it is obvious. If you have nothing to hide, why do it this way? Thank you very much for watching us tonight. CNN Tonight with Don Lemon starts right now.
Very good.
Golf clap from my man, D. Lemon.
Yes. I can't see you, though. Can I?
I look good.
I see you. I don't see me. So I guess I'm on the air. But anyways, I think you're exactly right.
It's just us, Don.
Oh,
Speak
there
freely.
we go. So I think that I'm so glad you said that, because there is no other way of describing this man's behavior other than being a political operative.
No holds bar.
No,
you can use it.
No holds bar. If you look at everything that has gone on, what he wrote about a special counsel before he even became Attorney General, what he said in his hearings, and a lot of people who gave him the benefit of the doubt. I sat here and watched them. I'm like, okay, you all right. Now they're eating a whole lot of crow. And people who were big fans of his gave him the benefit of the doubt, saying, you know what, I can't. The only thing I can say is that he's being a political operative, and he is not being transparent.
Look, it's not the first time we've seen it. I know I don't want you to hit me with the both sides stick, although I take that beating freely because that's my job. However, you know who got it right? The president. Once bitten, twice shy. He wasn't going to have another guy in there who wasn't going to do what he wanted him to do.
Right.
You know that for sure.
Right.
And that's what he got.
Yeah.
A man who's been tested before, and he's stuck by his president.
Yeah.
That's what he wanted. That's what he's getting.
Well, you saw what the Washington Post is reporting tonight that they're saying that a senior White House official said Trump has praised Barr privately for his handling of the
Of course he has.
Compared him favorably to former Attorney General Jeff Sessions. So comparing him to former Attorney General
That's
Jeff
pretty
Sessions.
low bar. You know, he probably compares you and me favorably to Jeff Sessions. You know, he trash talks the guy all the time. Never seen anything like it.
Yeah.
But look, Mr. Barr is at the end of his influence. When this comes out tomorrow, assuming the light redactions are something that don't spark a huge court battle, now it's out there. And I got to tell you, this Congressman Jim Himes who was on tonight, he surprised me, Democrat
I talked to him back
from
in the green room for a minute.
You know, he's spot on. It's not about the law. It's not about a crime. It never has been, because they were never going to indict him anyway. And that's why, you know, I spent so much time on the show getting beat up by the left saying, don't believe the hype. This report can't end the presidency. I don't see the criminality. It's always been about what Congress thinks, and I believe we're going to hear from Mr. Mueller. That's why he crafted his argument on obstruction the way he did.
Yeah, and well, yes, we will hear from him. But also, I think Barr is really concerned about that initial summary. One thing that you left out when you talked about, you know, what Barr did, Barr could or didn't do, he could have released the letters of summary that the Mueller team had already written. He didn't do that. I would surely love to see those and compare it to what Barr wrote.
You probably will. They say they didn't release them because they had classified information as well that required redaction.
Yeah, right.
Look,
okay.
I mean, we'll only know when we see them. I'm always looking to give them the benefit of the doubt of their argument, because the truth will always tell the story in the end. So, you know, you can have your argument. Here's what it is. Once he puts out the report, then people will be able to make their assessment. My only concern, my word of caution, do not expect any drumbeat for impeachment. That is a political process. It's about popularity of votes.
That's a whole nother show.
This president is at 90%.
That's a whole nother show.
party.
And by the time that happened, we'll be around to the election. So, I mean, don't even get your hopes in that. Listen, you give them the benefit of the doubt. I'm a little bit more skeptical. I grew up in Louisiana. There were actual turnip trucks, and I didn't fall off one of them. So I just...
You fell off something right on your head.
Keep it real. Yeah, I fell off into the truth, landed right into CNN. Thank you, sir.
Well done, D. Lemon.
I'll see you. And listen, I want to hear from you, because I'm going to do a segment that everyone wants to watch. Everyone should watch this segment. It's about halfway through this show, and I want to hear from you. Text me, okay?
Done.
See you later. This is CNN Tonight. I'm Don Lemon. We've got a lot to talk about. So much for transparency. Remember how they used to criticize the former president about this administration is not transparent? So much for transparency. So much for giving you should be pissed off. So much for giving you, the American people, the chance to make up your minds about the Mueller investigation for yourselves. They're treating you like fools. Let's tell them what to think. Like that was ever going to happen, that they were going to let you make up your own mind. Time after time, this Attorney General has done everything he can to get out ahead of the report and make people think that they already know what it says. They don't. People, you don't know what it says. You haven't seen it. So why not just put it out there, let you make up your mind, instead of, I'm going to do a press conference, got to do this, got to do that, put out a letter. Why do that? You can read. I can read. You can see it for yourself. So the Attorney General seems to be doing that again. He wrote his March 24th letter laying out his version, by the way, of the principal conclusions of Mueller's report. And he only quoted 101 words that Mueller wrote. He did not use the summaries that Mueller's team wrote. He spent 3.5 weeks since then keeping the report from you, the American people, and redacting who knows how much. We learned today that DOJ officials have been talking to the White House lawyers for days about the conclusions Mueller reached. They didn't talk to you. Did you hear anything? Didn't say a word. That's a nice head start for the White House, don't you think? And now the Attorney General is holding a news conference tomorrow morning at 9:30 to answer questions from reporters. And get this, reporters are going to be asking questions about a report that they haven't even seen. That makes sense, right? It's a pretty obvious attempt to keep the American people from knowing the whole truth and nothing but the truth. The truth. Truth. That is a very hard word for this White House. The chairs of the House Judiciary, the Intelligence, Oversight, Financial Services, and Foreign Affairs Committees issuing a joint statement just moments ago. Here's what it says, and I quote, "The Attorney General should cancel the press conference and provide the full report to Congress, as we have requested. With the special counsel's fact-gathering work concluded, it is now Congress's responsibility to assess the findings and evidence and proceed accordingly." But as things stand right now, Congress won't even get the report on discs, until sometime after 11. Press conference is at 9:30. They'll get it sometime after 11. It will be posted on the special counsel website after that. And let's not forget the timing of all of this, okay? Chris talked about it just a little while ago. Attorney General Barr released his first letter, first one, announcing the end of the Mueller investigation. That was late on a Friday. You know, Fridays are news dump days, things that you don't want to get a lot of attention. You dump them on a Friday. He did that late on a Friday. He released his second letter on Mueller's principal conclusions on a Sunday. Also not a huge Sunday afternoon, not a big news day. Sunday afternoon, people are at church, spending time with their families. And now he is releasing the report itself on the eve of Passover and Easter weekend. Coincidence? I don't think so. Or as the old folks say, I think not. A source telling CNN the publicly released version of Mueller's report is expected to have relatively minimal redactions in the section on obstruction of justice. And the Washington Post is reporting tonight that sources say Mueller decided that he could not come to a conclusion on obstruction because it was too difficult to determine Trump's intent. And some of his actions could be interpreted as innocently. But those sources say the report will include what's called a detailed blow-by-blow of the president's alleged conduct. But the president claims he has been completely exonerated, even though it's factually challenged, even though the fact is the special counsel did not reach a conclusion on obstruction.
There was no obstruction and none whatsoever. It was a complete and total exoneration. The Mueller report was great. It could not have been better. It said no obstruction, no collusion. It could not have been better.
The finding was very, very strong. No collusion, no obstruction.
The special counsel completed its report and found no collusion and no obstruction. I could have told you that 2.5 years ago. Total exoneration, beautiful conclusion. I haven't seen the report. There was no collusion at all. There never was.
They said no obstruction. And so there's no collusion, there's no obstruction.
So then why doesn't he want it out there? There's no collusion, no obstruction, then why not put it out there? Why are you acting like you're guilty? If he claims he's been totally exonerated, right? So why is he acting that way? And why is his own AG acting like the president is guilty of something? House Judiciary Chairman Jerry Nadler saying this about the Attorney General in his own press conference just a little while ago.
Rather than letting the facts of the report speak for themselves, the Attorney General has taken unprecedented steps to spin Mueller's nearly 2-year investigation. 1, he summarized the report and cherry-picked findings in his March 24th letter to Congress. 2, he withheld summaries written by the special counsel that were intended for public consumption. 3, he has briefed the White House on the report before providing Congress a copy, which has helped them prepare a rebuttal response for the president. And now, the evening before the report's scheduled release, the Department of Justice has informed the committee that it will receive a copy between 11 a.m. and noon, well after the Attorney General's 9:30 a.m. press conference. This is wrong. It is contrary to the Attorney General's own words to the committee.
So now I want you to listen to William Barr's own words during his confirmation hearing. Here it is.
My objective and goal is to get as much as I can of the information to Congress and the public. I am going to try to get the information out there consistent with these regulations, and to the extent I have discretion, I will exercise that discretion to do that. All I can say right now is my goal and intent is to get as much information out as I can consistent with the regulations.
Is it any wonder this president just loves his Attorney General? After all, it was Barr who just last week doubled down on the president's false claim that his campaign was spied on.
I think spying on a political campaign is a big deal. It's a big deal.
You're not suggesting, though, that spying occurred?
I don't, I guess you could, I think there's spying did occur. Yes, I think spying did occur.
That was a really low. Thinking. Man, y'all got to be kidding me. This is... Don't fall for the okie doke. While the president may not have seen the Mueller report itself yet, he sure seems to have a pretty good idea of what's coming. This was him in a radio interview today.
You'll see a lot of very strong things come out tomorrow. Attorney General Barr is going to be giving a press conference. Maybe I'll do one after that. We'll see. But he's been a fantastic Attorney General. He's grabbed it by the horn.
Well, a White House official tells CNN tonight that the president is not worried and went on to say the main results of the investigation are already known. Like I said, Attorney General William Barr has been controlling the narrative from the very beginning, and he's doing it again now. He'll do it tomorrow with his planned news conference, before any of us get to see the Mueller report. Question is, what will we learn from Mueller's report? Evan Perez is here. He joins us by phone, and we're happy to have him. Evan, you're learning tonight about this report. The part of the report involving potential obstruction by the president is lightly redacted. How do you know that, and what can you tell us about it?
Well, that's right, Don. I think certainly a person familiar with the report and the process that's undergone behind the scenes has told us that the redactions are mostly concentrated on the other parts of the report, the part having to do with Russian interference, and any potential ties with the Trump campaign. And a lot of that was intelligence information that was collected through the grand jury process. The obstruction part of the investigation was done with voluntary interviews, people who worked for the president in the White House, a lot of White House aides, people who were working with the president, right after he took office, so they would have seen a lot of that stuff. And again, that happened before the Mueller investigation. Did not happen in the grand jury. So it makes sense that there would be fewer redactions. That's certainly what we were hoping to hear, and certainly now what we're hearing from sources that are familiar with the report. So again, this is kind of what we expected to happen because of the nature of the investigation itself. As you mentioned, Don, earlier, the Washington Post is saying that Mueller could not reach a decision on obstruction. Well, that's one of the things that I think we're going to be reading the report closely for tomorrow. Is simply the fact is they never interviewed the president. There was no subpoena issued to the president. So getting to his intent as far as obstruction was probably very difficult for the team to get to. And so that's probably why they were never able to reach a decision on obstruction. And so I think tomorrow when we read the report, that's the first place I'm certainly going to go to when I get the report.
You're going to, as a matter of fact, we're going to have Elie Honig on a little bit later, and he's going to control F, which means find or search, and he's going to tell us exactly what he's going to be searching for, and I'm sure you'll be doing that as well. We'll all be reading it. Let's talk a little bit more about your reporting, though, Evan, because your reporting characterizes the conversations between Justice Department officials and White House lawyers as numerous. What can you tell us about those conversations?
Right. I think there've been a number of conversations, and a lot of them were prepping for the White House counsel. Obviously, the White House counsel is the lawyer for the president's office. The president, he works. He is the boss, after all. So it is normal for the Justice Department to provide some top lines, to provide some basic information about how the report is coming. To our understanding, they have not seen the actual report, the full report. But certainly, I mean, Don, I think you played enough audio there of the president who feels very confident. It tells us that there's enough information that's flowed towards the White House that the president feels pretty good. After all, he's the one that broke the news that the Attorney General was having a press conference, by the way, which is kind of a little odd for the president to be saying something when this is supposed to be an independent investigation that focuses on him, by the way. And the Justice Department traditionally tries to make its own announcements on this type of thing.
Evan Perez, appreciate your reporting. Stand by. Who knows? There may be more new developments before we are off the air on this particular program this evening. Thank you very much. So the House Judiciary Chairman Jerry Nadler is among top Democrats demanding the Attorney General cancel his press conference tomorrow. So with me here, a member of that committee. She was also at Nadler's press conference tonight, Congresswoman Madeleine Dean. She's going to join me next.
CNN Tonight, brought to you by Pfizer.
It's tough to quit smoking cold turkey, so Chantix can help you quit slow turkey. Along with support, Chantix is proven to help you quit. With Chantix, you can keep smoking at first and ease into quitting. So when the day arrives, you'll be more ready to kiss cigarettes goodbye. When you try to quit smoking with or without Chantix, you may have nicotine withdrawal symptoms. Stop Chantix and get help right away if you have changes in behavior or thinking, aggression, hostility, depressed mood, suicidal thoughts or actions, seizures, new or worse heart or blood vessel problems, sleepwalking, or life-threatening allergic and skin reactions. Decrease alcohol use. Use caution driving or operating machinery. Tell your doctor if you've had mental health problems. The most common side effect is nausea. Talk to your doctor about Chantix.
Hi, I'm Lisa. Definitely would like to meet someone special.
Looking for a real relationship?
So I definitely would like to find a long-term relationship. Somebody who is smart, who has an excellent sense of humor. Can't wait to meet you. Bye.
Check out Match right now for free.
Fact, we all love video doorbells. Voice assistants have changed our lives. We now control our home with a touch.
And you know what's better than all these things by themselves?
All these things combined
From the most trusted name in security, ADT.
Like a dream. If you ride, you get it. Geico Motorcycle. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
The right gear matters. Introducing the all-new 2019 Ford Ranger. It's the right gear with a terrain management system for this, a bash plate for that, an electronic locking rear differential for, yeah, this. Heading to the supermarket? Get any truck. Heading out here? Get the Ford Ranger. The only adventure gear built Ford tough.
From the founder of Discovery Channel comes a new independent streaming service, Curiosity Stream. Home of groundbreaking documentaries and award-winning original series. Follow your curiosity. This is Curiosity Stream.
No lower price.
Wow, it's a lot of asparagus.
Yeah, you say get a bunch of asparagus. Oh,
A bunch.
I thought you kind of.
Unlock your child's potential with the online school that breaks the mold. Connections Academy provides caring, state-certified teachers in a safe, supportive environment. At Connections Academy, we believe that your kids will build the skills they need for future success. Visit ConnectionsAcademy.com. Our high-quality curriculum can bring school to life for your child.
Attorney General William Barr is holding a press conference about the Mueller report tomorrow morning at 9:30, at least an hour and a half before Congress or the American people will even have a chance to see the redacted report. The House Judiciary Chairman Jerry Nadler bluntly says that that's wrong. I want to bring in now a member of that committee, Congresswoman Madeleine Dean. Thank you so much for joining us.
I'm pleased
you
to
were
be
here
with
in New York tonight. You were at the press conference that Representative Nadler held, or Chairman Nadler, I should say, held earlier tonight, where he said Barr is waging a campaign on behalf of the president to spin the Mueller report. What do you think?
Well, I think it's very puzzling. Why is it that the Attorney General is having a press conference at 9:30 in the morning? He's been teasing when he's going to release this report. It was going to be last Friday. It was going to be Monday or Tuesday. Now it's going to be Thursday before Good Friday, and he's hosting a press conference before releasing the report. How backwards is that? And actually, my thought is, why is he hosting a press conference at all?
That's a good question. Talk about that.
Well, the report should speak for itself. The Mueller report needs to stand on its own 2 feet and speak for itself. The American people and this Congress have a right to see the entire report. Why would he have a press conference?
Because this is Mueller's report. It's not Barr's report.
Correct. He didn't do the investigation. He stepped into the arena very recently. And in fact, in his audition for this position, he said it was not in the public's interest for him to in any way summarize or chop up the report. So why the change of heart?
So then let me ask you then, so what happened with his repeated promises, do you think, of transparency? What happened?
I don't understand it. And you remember also the president said, let the people see it. Back in March, he said, let the people see it. Let them see the full report. And Barr, Attorney General Barr, promised the Senate that that's what he would do. I don't understand it. The other puzzling and very troubling thing to our committee is the fact that apparently over the course of the last week, the reporting shows that the Department of Justice has been coordinating with the White House on the release of this report so the White House can begin to respond or write up its own counter report. All of that is entirely inappropriate.
So the several very prominent committees, just within the past few minutes, House committees for Judiciary, Intelligence, and Oversight, also Financial Services and Foreign Affairs, they're calling for the Barr press conference, for Barr to cancel his press conference or postpone his press conference until after the report is released. Those are very powerful committees. Do you think that they have a chance?
Their call is absolutely correct. In conversations with Chairman Nadler tonight, before the press conference, he and I discussed that very same thing. Number one, why have the press conference at all? But at a minimum, it should be after the report is out so that members of the press and members of the public can ask informed questions.
Yeah. Well, he said just last week that he did not want to talk about the Mueller report before it was released. And now he's having a press conference hours before it's released.
And so, Don, your question is my question. Why the contortions? Why the drapery around this report? What is it they're afraid of?
Do you think it makes it look like they're afraid of something?
It does to me. Otherwise, just transparently let the report stand for itself. And of course, our committee has every right to see the entire report.
So you heard the report at the top of the show from Evan Perez, and also the Washington Post reporting tonight that the Mueller report will be lightly redacted, revealing a detailed look at the obstruction of justice investigation. And the Post is citing people who are familiar with the matter. And I'm going to say what they say, but again, CNN has that reporting. Evan Perez did it at the top of the show. Here's what they say. They said that the report will reveal that Mueller decided he could not come to a conclusion on the question of obstruction because it was difficult to determine Trump's intent, and some of his actions could be interpreted innocently, these people said. But it will offer a detailed blow-by-blow of his alleged conduct, analyzing tweets, private threats, and other episodes at the center of Mueller's inquiry. What do you say to that, Congresswoman?
Well, I'm hoping that it's redacted, not at all. Unfortunately, I'm skeptical of how much it will be redacted. What we got in a letter from Attorney General Barr were 4 categories of information, and the last one was rather a kitchen sink of information, anything that might be personally embarrassing. So I'm worried about redactions whatsoever. In terms of interpreting his intent, again, we need to see the evidence. We want to see what Mueller and 22 months of study, independent study, said about this investigation. If you remember what this investigation was about, it was about Russia interference with the 2016 election, which we know took place. We need to see the report unredacted.
Do you think all of this rigmarole that is happening now with the Attorney General, is that to blunt or dull criticism?
Is that to
blunt or dull criticism of the report and the president?
I fear it is. I fear it's to try to get in front of the media cycle, drop this later in the day before important holidays and holy days, with the hope that maybe the public really won't focus on it. But I want to let the public know we're going to do our job. We have a constitutional job to do on behalf of the American people to make sure we get at the facts and the evidence about what happened with the interference in our elections. So we'll continue to do our oversight. And I don't think the contortions that the Attorney General and Department of Justice seem to be going through will last very long.
Congresswoman Dean, thank you so much.
My pleasure.
I appreciate your time.
Thanks to be with you.
More on Robert Mueller's report and what's being called a detailed blow-by-blow of the president's alleged conduct. What will all this mean for President Trump?
Monday night, the first major candidate event of the 2020 presidential campaign. Sanders, Harris, Warren, Klobuchar, Buttigieg. On the same stage, back to back. A CNN town hall event, live from New Hampshire. Moderated by Anderson Cooper, Chris Cuomo, and Don Lemon. A CNN town hall event, Monday night, starting at 7 Eastern, only on CNN.
Incomparable design makes it beautiful. State-of-the-art technology makes it brilliant. The visionary Lexus NX.
Lease the 2019 NX 300 for $359 a month for 36 months.
Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
At Fidelity, we help you prepare for the unexpected with retirement planning and advice for what you need today and tomorrow. Because when you're with Fidelity, there's nothing to stop you from moving forward.
I got the deal of a lifetime on Poshmark. I got these barely worn Louis Vuitton heels, and I paid $100 for them. I would have paid over $700 for these in the store.
Get $5 off your first order. Download the free Poshmark app now and use offer code LOVEPOSH.
As King Midas, I expect a lifetime guarantee. And so should you. On struts, brakes, shocks.
Does he turn everything to gold?
Not everything.
Now get $100 back on a 2-axle brake service with your Midas credit card. Request an appointment today.
Finding the right drop for dry eyes can be overwhelming. For relief that lasts, you want Soothe XP from Bausch & Lomb. Soothe XP helps restore the eye's lipid layer, seal in moisture, and protect against further irritation. Soothe XP, the right choice for dry eyes.
Ruby Tuesday slider combos, just $11.99. Right now, there's 6 new reasons to slide on in. Get 3 sliders, tots or fries, and the Endless Garden Bar. Slider combos at Ruby Tuesday, just $11.99. Join our email club for a free app.
Far from ordinary, and now far closer than you ever imagined. Call 1-800-SANDALS.
America's #1 meal kit company can get you prepping like a pro.
cooking a mean burger. Dinner done in 30. HelloFresh delivers award-winning taste week after week. Use code TV80 to get $80 off. HelloFresh, get cooking.
Dr. Sanjay Gupta travels to Bolivia and discovers the secrets of a tribe with the healthiest hearts in the world.
When I first started reading about this, I didn't believe it.
Chasing Life, Saturday night at 9 Eastern.
Help. When you fall and can't get help, Help. You will lie on the floor for hours or days in constant, terrible anguish, which often results in a tragic outcome. But with Life Alert, one touch of a button can get you help fast.
Don't worry, help is on the way.
With any of Life Alert's 3 emergency systems, help can be summoned immediately, whether at home, I've fallen and I can't get up. in the bathroom, I've fallen in the shower. or on the go.
Help! I'm in the park and I can't get up.
And batteries never need charging. Life Alert saves a life every 11 minutes.
For a free Life Alert brochure, call 1-800-987-1212. That's 1-800-987-1212. Call now, 1-800-987-1212.
This is CNN, the most trusted name in news.
So here we are, just hours away now from the release of the redacted Mueller report, and we're already getting a possible sneak peek at it. A source telling CNN is expected to have relatively minimal redactions in the section on obstruction of justice. Minimal redactions on the section of obstruction of justice. The Washington Post is reporting that Mueller decided that he could not come to a conclusion on the obstruction question because it was difficult to determine Trump's intent. A lot to talk about. Renato Mariotti is here. Renato Mariotti is here. I've been corrected. So all of that said about the minimal, what our reporting is, and the Washington Post is reporting the same thing. You've been skeptical of that. What does that mean? What do you think? How do you feel about that?
Well, I will tell you, I'm skeptical of the approach here. I mean, we have a press conference before we see the report. I've never heard of such a thing. There's press conferences at the Justice Department all the time. Usually the document that is the culmination of the investigation is handed out to reporters beforehand or at the event. The people who handled the investigation are up there on the stage. Here we've got a guy who had nothing to do with this investigation other than overseeing the very end of it. Up there, Mr. Mueller's not there, his team's not there. We don't know what the document is. What's the point of this? And what galls me is that the woman you had on here before, Congresswoman, she has a complete right to see that report. Congress has not only an oversight role, but they have an impeachment role here. And instead of showing it to them, he's stonewalling them, and yet he's been showing it to the White House. Very concerning.
But she also raises a very good question. Why is he even having a press conference at all?
It seems to me like this is the culmination of the strategy that began a few weeks ago, which is release a letter that didn't contain even a single full sentence from the report to spin the conclusions, and he's been trying to control the media and kind of weave a media narrative for the president. So he'll have sound bites on this morning that we'll be running all day. And in the meantime, we don't know what's in the report.
So the Washington Post is reporting tonight that Mueller could not come to a conclusion on obstruction because, in part, it was difficult to determine Trump's intent. How much do you think that's because they didn't interview the president? It was only questions.
Well, no, there's no question.
Written questions.
Yeah, and there's no question. If you want to find someone's intent, the best thing to do is have a conversation with them. I don't know why Mueller did not interview the president. I suppose we're going to potentially learn about that if Barr doesn't redact it tomorrow. I will say it can be difficult to determine what Trump is thinking or doing at any point in time, and I think it's fair that Mueller may have had questions about it. But his careful and cautious approach to that question seems totally at odds with the way that Barr has handled this, which, you know, Barr told us he'd be transparent. He's going to be the adult in the room, and instead it seems like he's spinning it and hiding things from the public.
We got a big show ahead of us. Our time is short. Thank you, Renato.
Thank you, my friend.
Mariotti. I appreciate it. We've got a lot more to come on the Mueller report, but also something that you need to see, and you have to hear it for yourself. Just please believe me. It is a closer look at the cozy relationship between the White House and Fox News.
There are people out there who see things others can't. They're the ones who see a city that can make those who live in it feel a little safer, who see the efficient shape and design of the ocean's wonders as the future of aerodynamics. At Dell Technologies, we see it too. If you'd like to transform your business, talk to us, and we'll show the world what impossible looks like when it's made real.
Every day, visionaries are creating the future. So every day, we put our latest technology and unrivaled network to work. The United States Postal Service makes more e-commerce deliveries to homes than anyone else in the country.
Just like any other family, the house, the kids, they're living the dream. Then here comes the wacky new maid.
Maid? I'm not the...
Is she an alien? Is she a spy? She's always here, someone tell us why. She's not the maid we wanted.
Because I'm not the maid.
But she's the maid we got.
Again, I'm not the maid. I protect your home and auto.
Hey, Campbell's, who's your new maid?
Hey, renovators. Time to dream bigger.
Wayfair, you're my new secret weapon. You got what I need for my renovation. I love all these options, so much to choose from. Bathrooms and basements, even my kitchen, your service is sweet. And my job is complete. Wayfair, here I come.
Start your renovation at wayfair.com.
Guys, how frustrating is it to find a great fitting t-shirt? It's never the right length. Standard t-shirts are one size fits all. M. Taylor custom t-shirts use 8 different measurements to give you the perfect fit. Your phone can measure you right now. M. Taylor for iOS or Android.
Imagine being able to do whatever you want to do, whenever you want to do it. Sandals, more quality inclusions than any other resorts on the planet. Save up to 65%. Call 1-800-SANDALS.
Live from New Hampshire, the first major candidate event of the 2020 presidential campaign. Sanders, Harris, Warren, Klobuchar, Buttigieg on the same stage, back to back. Monday night, starting at 7 Eastern, only on CNN.
My dental problems prevented me from doing things like singing. My teeth could come out at any time. It's just like a big hole that you can't seem to fill because you can't do the things that you love.
She was just in a quiet place, and you know, that's just not her.
Going to Clear Choice, it was a calm that came over me that I hadn't had before.
She said she had gotten other dental recommendations, but nobody really listened to her and made her feel comfortable. We are able to help patients get to a point they thought was never possible. The transformation, it is just a joy to be able to say it really can be done in one day because we have the whole team there in one place.
I could sing out loud. It's a permanent part of me that allowed me to do the things that I love with the people that I love most.
Chasing Life with Dr. Sanjay Gupta, Saturday nights at 9 Eastern.
So tonight, a White House official telling CNN that President Trump's not worried about the release of the redacted Mueller report tomorrow morning. Democrats slamming Attorney General Barr's decision to hold a news conference about it before even releasing a report to Congress and the public. We're going to have much more on that straight ahead, trust me. But right now, there is something that I really want you to see. It's an absolutely incredible video. Trust me, 3 minutes, 46 seconds, worth every single second. Roll it.
What is wrong with this president? How dumb is he?
The purpose of a journalist is to hold people in power accountable.
Now, we're going to vet the president. We're going to talk about his vacation, his golfing.
2 golf outings for the president cost $2.9 million. That alone is amazing.
Should a president, the leader of the free world, be on a social network tweeting?
No.
He's kind of a celebrity president. He's kind of like Ryan Seacrest.
This is a president who does not really know what he wants to do. He simply wants to be popular with everybody, every audience before which he stands.
The president seems almost obsessed with cable TV, or am I wrong?
This is a president who rules by executive authority, executive action.
When he's not doing executive actions, he's out on the golf course.
The president heads to Florida for a boys' weekend of golf.
Yes, this president is the beneficiary of the vision and the action of his predecessor.
The rule used to be a sitting president doesn't criticize his predecessor, especially by name.
Has any president in your lifetime taken on this kind of tone, this kind of harshness, either towards his predecessor or towards a single media outlet? I have never seen this before.
Without the teleprompter, the president doesn't know exactly what to do correctly.
The president's budget that he gave today, all right, doesn't cut any deficit. It increases the debt.
For the man who said we have to get our deficit under control, he's not doing it. It's like golf, Mr. President. You play a lot of that.
He's certainly not acting like the most transparent president in history, is he, Juan?
What's in those records that you don't want us to know about?
Once again, he's pandering to the worst regimes and thugs and dictators.
This is a president that is acting like a dictator. This is a president who is ignoring the rule of law and siding with lawbreakers.
This is a president now who's demonstrated that he will lie to push through a program.
And once the president tweets it, then it becomes canon. Oh, that's a fact. The president says it's a fact.
He's in love with campaigning. He's going to fundraisers tonight.
He achieved that significant accomplishment earlier today while vacationing in Florida on your dime.
This president and the people around him are convinced that God has anointed him to fix everything in one fell swoop. That's not how American politics work. That's not how life works.
This is a president who has become known, I think, to the public as a blamer.
He never makes any concessions. He always treats his opponents as though they're enemies.
We have a president who can never admit he's wrong. He's so insecure and vain at the same time.
He doesn't realize that the president has that power to set a tone and other people follow it.
What he's really trying to do is to divide the country and to get his people to turn out to vote.
He simply doesn't like being mocked. Maybe he's a little thin-skinned.
I've been saying, Mr. President, put your pants on, sit at the table, man up.
Skip the trash talk. It only diminishes the office of the president.
If you want to work with somebody, you don't call them names.
This is a very quick and easy, cheap way to score political points, but it's a terrible, corrosive way for a president of the United States to govern a country.
Why don't you talk in an aspirational way to people and be more positive and more uplifting?
Mr. President, you need to stop acting like a schoolyard bully and start acting like the leader of the free world.
Mr. President, everyone is laughing at us. You're like a schoolyard bully. No one's afraid of you. Putin sure as hell isn't.
With all due respect, Mr. President, maybe it is time you stop looking at a TV tuned to Fox and looked in a mirror tuned to, I don't know, you.
Thank you very much. And thank you, Mr. President, for watching tonight.
Now, the glaring double standard that exists here is nothing short of incredible.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. I bet you thought at first that they were talking about President Trump, didn't you? They weren't. Every word of that was a slam on President Barack Obama. Every single word of it. But the fact is, every bit of that could have been said about this president, President Trump. The hypocrisy in that is stunning, and it's right there in your face. The same traits that they said made Obama weak, that they criticized him for, are the same ones that are now claiming make Trump strong, and they're giving him praise for. Just imagine what it would be like if Fox News reported on President Trump the way they covered Obama. Nico Pitney is here, the political director of Now This, the group that produced that video. Thank you. That was amazing.
Absolutely.
So it really, I mean, it puts the hypocrisy and the double standard of Fox News front and center. Tell me about this video.
Yeah, I have to give a shout out my colleague Michael Lester, who that was his brainchild. And Now This, we reach 70% of 20-year-olds in the U.S. every month. We have a big responsibility to young people, and they have grown up. They've found their political consciousness in an age where fake news is everywhere. And one thing that we want to communicate to them is that the vast majority of reporters, of news outlets, are legitimately interested in the truth. They care a lot about that. But the elephant in the room is this very powerful cable network that is the largest purveyor of fake news. And calling out that hypocrisy is really important.
Yeah, it is, and that's why we're doing it. So let's just point to a few things that that they hit Obama on, right? And didn't say a word about Trump. They criticized Obama for golfing. President Trump has spent 181 days at a golf club in the first 2+ years. Guess how many Obama did? 64, right? Yeah. And they're always criticized. They always criticized him. They called him the golfing president, and on and on and on. What's your take here?
Well, and I don't think the problem is, expressing opinions. It's not even. It's almost worse than hypocrisy. It's bad faith. Do they believe any of those criticisms, or are they entirely used as a cudgel against someone they disagree with on a totally different issue? And that's that's a whole other level.
It's interesting. As I was coming into the studio tonight, I walked by the monitor, one of the monitors in the newsroom, and on one of the shows. It said selective moral outrage from the media. And I just laughed because I knew I was going to do this segment. And I said, I'm going to show you some selective moral outrage here. I want you to stick with me, Nico. We have a lot more to talk about. The connection between Fox News and the president goes far beyond their airwaves and all the way to the White House.
Tut mir leid. Aber der macht mich einfach so wütend.
I'm sorry, I don't understand.
Help! I need somebody. Help! Not just anybody. Help! I need someone.
Too much to do and no time to do it.
Need to move it or improve it. Put some paint up on the wall. Need to grow it, mow or blow it. Tackle Lab can do it all. Need an extra hand to help you for an hour or a day. Need to pick up or deliver. Tackle does it every day.
Too much to do and no time to do it. Get the app and tackle it.
Sir, you're a broker. What do you charge for online equity trades?
I'll look into it. Lisa Jones.
Hey, Carl, what are you charging me for online equity trades? And do I get my fees back if I'm not happy, like a satisfaction guarantee?
Schwab.
Oh, right, I'm calling Schwab. Thanks, Carl.
Wait, Lisa. Lisa.
Are you getting low cost backed by a satisfaction guarantee? If not, talk to Schwab, a modern approach to wealth management.
Wireless for $15 a month. That's not right.
It's right, all right. Carpet showers? That's not right.
That's not right.
Neither is the way you get wireless. Mint Mobile took what's wrong with wireless and made it right. We're easy, online, and just $15 a month. Get your plan today at mintmobile.com.
If you live with diabetes, why fingerstick when you can scan? With the Freestyle Libre 14-day system, just scan the sensor with your reader or iPhone and manage your diabetes. With the Freestyle Libre 14-day system, a continuous glucose monitor, you can check your glucose levels anytime without fingersticks. Ask your doctor to write a prescription for the new Freestyle Libre 14-day system. You can do it without fingersticks. Learn more at freestylelibre.us.
Oh, Eric! I didn't know you were with the UPS store.
Yeah, we printed that sign.
I thought you just did shipping.
Oh, no, we do printing, packing, notarizing, faxing, shredding, mailboxing, taping, laminating, consulting, trading, designing, returning, and of course, shipping.
I can't feel my legs. I should really get him home.
From printing to packing to mailboxing, go to the UPS store for everything your small business needs. And of course, shipping.
I have heart disease. Watch what I eat, take statins, but still struggle to lower my LDL bad cholesterol, which means a heart attack or stroke could strike without warning, pulling me away from everything that matters most. Because with high bad cholesterol, my risk of a heart attack or stroke is real. Repatha plus a statin seriously lowers bad cholesterol by 63% and significantly drops my risk of having a heart attack or stroke.
Do not take Repatha if you are allergic to it. Repatha can cause serious allergic reactions. Signs include trouble breathing or swelling of the face. Most common side effects include runny nose, sore throat, common cold symptoms, flu or flu-like symptoms, back pain, high blood sugar, and redness, pain, or bruising at the injection site.
I won't let a heart attack or stroke come between me and everything I love. Neither should you. Tell your doctor to lower your LDL and reduce your risk with Repatha. Pay no more than $5 per month with a Repatha copay card.
No lower price.
Wow, it's a lot of asparagus.
Yeah, you say get a bunch of asparagus. Oh, you...
A bunch.
I thought you kind of...
Help! I need somebody. Help! Not just anybody. Help! You know I need someone.
And we're back now. The Attorney General moving to control the narrative over the release of the redacted Mueller report, holding a news conference at 9:30 a.m. Before even releasing it to everyone around 11. So, and no one knows better about controlling the narrative than President Trump. He does it a lot, and he does it through his allies at Fox News. Nico Pitney is back with me, and I'm joined now by Brian Stelter and Rick Wilson. Rick is the author of Everything Trump Touches Dies. Brian, welcome.
I wish I had made this video. I'm a little jealous of this guy.
Not that you needed any proof, and then the frustration. Listen, here's the interesting thing. I rarely think about them, but almost every night, one of those guys over there opens up with something, saying something terrible about CNN and fake news and whatever.
It's part of the shtick.
It's part of the shtick, right?
Yeah.
So it felt a little odd doing this segment because we really don't care, but it just points out the hypocrisy and how the cozy relationship between the White House and Fox News, and how Fox News has become really state-run TV.
There's a fundamental dishonesty in some of the rhetoric that we hear from the opinion hosts on Fox. And I think this video that's gone viral today shows that because it does turn the tables on a lot of Fox's talking points. Ultimately, what the hosts on Fox do, and I'm talking about the most loyally pro-Trump, slavishly pro-Trump hosts, what they do is
I'm not talking about people like Shep or Brett or any
But what the pro-Trump guys do is they do a disservice to their viewers.
Right.
Because no matter how this presidency goes, no matter who's elected to be next president, the voices on Fox are misleading their audience about what's really going on in the White House. And that's going to be especially true tomorrow when this report drops.
Yeah. I want to play one clip from the Now This News video. Rick, this is for you.
He simply doesn't like being mocked. Maybe he's a little thin-skinned.
I've been saying, Mr. President, put your pants on. Sit at the table, man up.
Skip the trash talk. It only diminishes the office of the president.
If you want to work with somebody, you don't call them names.
Thin skin, don't call people names. I mean, we have a president now who relishes in being a bully. Don't say anything about that. Just give me your reaction to this video.
Oh, I think the video is, I mean, it captures this incredible moment where the Republican Party's fundamental principles, things like deficit reduction and dignity in the Oval Office and all these other categories that we used to claim were utterly vital to the presidency, are now completely dismissed. And every single thing that those guys said about Barack Obama applies to to Donald Trump in an enormous, gigantic multiple of thousands of times more. And it's remarkable to see how shameless they are about it. And, you know, the golfing used to be anathema, and now, oh, it's just a president, he deserves some time off. The whole thing is just, it's an amazing, capture of the hypocritical nature of Fox and the enterprise there, and the gigantic grift that's going on there with these conservative viewers.
And Nico, the line from disgraced host Bill O'Reilly, the former host of Fox News, about the president seemingly obsessed with cable news. I mean, it's laughable when you look at the amount of executive time that this president is slated every day to watch cable news and how much he tweets about it, right? This president talking about Obama, he talks about it. The president has tweeted 422 times about, since being sworn in, about fake news. That was about since being sworn in. He has tweeted about Obama, his predecessor, because they said, you should, Obama criticized his predecessor by name 276 times since being sworn in.
And it's really sad for democracy because it results in millions of people who watch this network living in a bizarro fantasy world with no connection to real important facts about, the people that they're being governed by.
And again, we're going to suffer from that tomorrow because the alternative reality about the Mueller report is so strong from these hosts on Fox, claiming it was an attempt at a coup, claiming it's all been a hoax. I hope the news anchors on Fox break through that narrative tomorrow and in the days to come and try to help the public that watches Fox know what actually happened.
Yeah, one more thing I want to talk to you about, the deficit, you know, and you're a Republican. You're still a Republican, right, Rick?
Yep.
The Republicans used to be concerned about deficits now. The deficit grew $146.9 billion in March. For the fiscal year of 2019, $609 billion. That's a 15% increase from a year ago. They criticized the former president. The stats are up there. So much about the deficit. You never hear them talk about how much this president, this administration is increasing the deficit.
Right. Fiscal conservatives like me spent 8 years of Obama tearing our hair out, screaming up and down that the debt and the deficit were unsustainable, that out-of-control federal spending was unsustainable, and now the reaction to it when Trump has blown our deficit out to numbers we could never have conceived before, where we're talking about trillion-dollar-a-year deficits. Now it's a shrug. It's like Donald Trump bankrupts casinos. He's like, yeah, whatever, we can walk away from the debt. We can't. We're a sovereign. And so this is going to be something that we pay a very, very hard price for economically, because money is actually a thing. It's not just completely imaginary, and there will be financial consequences for this. Yeah. And Republicans have completely abandoned that. I mean, they've ironically left open the fiscal conservative lane now for smart Democrats to go, wait a second, we're going to pay for things as we go. Yeah. Wait a second, we're not going to just spend money like drunken sailors on payday.
The question is, will anyone care? Brian, I'm over. I know the producer's going to be mad at me, but I just want to get in this news about Monica Crowley, because it's a revolving door with Fox News personality. CNN is reporting that Fox News commentator Monica Crowley is in talks to be a spokeswoman for the Treasury. That's the latest example of the revolving door. Look on your screen, and that's all the people, the Trump administration that have worked. And
yeah,
it's not
we're running out of space.
It's
we're
not even comprehensive.
Space on the screen, John.
So what do you think?
Monica Crowley is a clear plagiarist. CNN.com's stories have the proof of that. But look, she'll probably get the job. Yep. I think all this conversation, all we're looking for, a little consistency. How about a little consistency?
How about a little consistency in the truth, in informing the viewer?
Hey.
Yeah.
Thank you all.
Thanks.
Appreciate it. We'll be right back.
It's easy to move forward when you're ready for what comes next. At Fidelity, we make sure you have a clear plan to cover the essentials in retirement, as well as all the things you want to do. And on the way, you'll get timely investment help to keep you on the right track, without the unnecessary fees you might expect from so many financial firms. Because when you have a partner who gives you clarity at every step, there's nothing to stop you from moving forward.
If you have moderate to severe psoriasis or psoriatic arthritis, little things can be a big deal. That's why there's Otezla. Otezla is not an injection or a cream. It's a pill that treats differently. For psoriasis, 75% clearer skin is achievable with reduced redness, thickness, and scaliness of plaques. For psoriatic arthritis, Otezla is proven to reduce joint swelling, tenderness, and pain. And the Otezla prescribing information has no requirement for routine lab monitoring. Don't use if you're allergic to Otezla. It may cause severe diarrhea, nausea, or vomiting. Otezla is associated with an increased risk of depression. Tell your doctor if you have a history of depression or suicidal thoughts, or if these feelings develop. Some people taking Otezla reported weight loss. Your doctor should monitor your weight and may stop treatment. Upper respiratory tract infection and headache may occur. Tell your doctor about your medicines and if you're pregnant or planning to be. Ready to treat differently with a pill? Otezla. Show more of you.
Ruby Tuesday slider combos, just $11.99. Right now, there's 6 new reasons to slide on in. Get 3 sliders, tots or fries, and the Endless Garden Bar. Slider combos at Ruby Tuesday, just $11.99. Join our email club for a free app.
We humans are strange creatures. Other species avoid pain and struggle. We actually seek it out. Other species do difficult things because they have to. We do difficult things because we like to. We think it's fun. Introducing the all-new 2019 Ford Ranger. Built for the strangest of all creatures.
For every home project, HomeAdvisor finds trusted local pros. For every pro, you can read customer reviews. And for everybody's busy schedule, you can book appointments online. For every project, you have HomeAdvisor. Go to HomeAdvisor.com.
Live from New Hampshire, the first major candidate event of the 2020 presidential campaign. Sanders, Harris, Warren, Klobuchar, Buttigieg on the same stage, back to back. Monday night, starting at 7 Eastern, only on CNN.
I have a vision correction number, but I'm more than a number. When I'm not teaching, I'm taking steep grades and tight corners. My Essilor lenses offer more than vision correction with 3 innovative technologies for my ultimate in vision, clarity, and protection, together in a single lens. The Essilor Ultimate Lens Package, so I can do more of what I love.
Buy 2 pairs of Essilor's best lenses and get $100 back instantly. See more, do more.